welcome to our 10th episode of our Open Up podcast.
Yay.
Yay. This will be our end of year last podcast for 2025.
For this season, yes.
For this season. So this season is a bunch of things. First, I want to put a little bit of information out there. Last week, we missed a week.
Yes.
Did you miss us? Yes, the answer is yes.
I did.
This recording.
Yes. So the reasons why we skipped a week were multiple, but the main two were
the main one.
Okay, the main three. It was finals week, and so our two people talked about stress in studying for exams. The second reason was because one of our other permanent guests was injured. Sophia got hurt. She hurt herself. I don't think anybody did her in, but she needed to stay calm. And if any of you out there have met Sophia, you know that calm is not in her vocabulary.
It is not.
So I invited the guys to not come over so that she could stay calm. The third one is I'm the one who said, let's not record this week. This way, these two guys do not out me for being the one to say, let's not record.
We have receipts. I have receipts.
So we don't have one of my original poems this time, but we have a beautiful poem by Reverend Austin Flemming.
Yes, but what are we opening today?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the wine. I'm so excited about this topic. So today we're opening a bottle of Malbec. It's Origen Reserva from the mountains of Argentina. So to our friends from South America.
And what are we opening up about today?
Today we are opening up about this time of year, particularly the season of Advent, Christmas, and new beginnings, endings, new beginnings. So this is a poem called Advent, and because I'm also losing my voice, you may tell some things different about my speaking voice. McQueen is going to read the poem on Advent.
Right, she's having me fill in for her. Okay. So Advent, a time of waiting and reflection, by Austin Flemming. Advent is a time to wait for the Lord, but I have to wonder, is it the Lord who is waiting for me? Are you waiting for me, Lord? Is there something you waiting for me to do? A word you waiting for me to hear? Or a word you waiting for me to speak? Is there truth you waiting for me to discover? Faith you waiting for me to grow in? Hope you waiting for me to trust? Is there someone you waiting for me to love? Someone you waiting for me to forgive? Someone you waiting for me to comfort? Is there a gift you waiting for me to receive? A blessing you waiting for me to enjoy? A talent you waiting for me to share? Is there a fault you waiting for me to acknowledge? A sin you waiting for me to face? Pardon you waiting for me to seek? Is there someone you waiting for me to let go? A grudge or resentment I need to shake off? A habit you waiting for me to change? Is there a challenge you waiting for me to accept? A change you waiting for me to make? A path you waiting for me to walk? Are you waiting for me to draw closer to you? Waiting to hear my heart in prayer? Waiting for me to wait for you? In some many ways, Lord, and in some I don't know. I wait for you and I wait for your love. Help me see all the ways you're waiting for me. Amen.
Amen.
This is a very powerful poem.
Is there a part that particularly struck you?
I think I would say a change you're waiting for me to make. That's yeah.
It struck you.
I know. You talk about new beginnings, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I got from there.
Just for me, the whole concept
I
of
know.
God waiting for us. I'm usually thinking of our Advent songs that talk about, we're waiting for God to be born in us. To look at it from this perspective is to see how God sees us as important,
Right.
and that God waits for us. It's like, wow, that's a mind blower, I think.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Throughout this, when Advent began, we start hearing the gospel readings of the end times in some sense, and I have become very teary after listening every single time, even when we're in our chapel here at in our community in the theological house, and even when I go to mass on Sunday. And I brought up this question with my spiritual director because I think something has been um, maybe stirring up in me. Maybe there's some change that need to be made, or something maybe I need to discover. Just like the prayer said, the poem said. So listening to this today, it's like a reassurance of listening to the gospel and letting it maybe enter into my soul. Um, yeah, so I love this poem.
That's beautiful. Yes. If God calls us to change, and we're responding in the
Yes.
ways that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think for me, Advent is like my favorite. Yeah, probably my favorite season in the church. And I always associate it with him, the King of Glory,
Um,
because it's just such a good hymn, and I'm always disappointed when the
When we
music.
don't sing it,
Yes, when I think from the Feast of Christ the King, which is the last week of Ordinary Time, all the way through Advent, we should sing that song. Like if I'm ever a pastor, I'm gonna let my music director do whatever they want throughout the year. I don't care. But I'm gonna say, if you do not play the King of Glory starting Christ the King until Christmas comes, you're fired.
whoa.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, see, the unfortunate thing is that you've not been able to come to St. Gerard, because we have been
No,
singing the King of Glory since Christ the King.
yes, I was there on Christ the King, and whenever the mass started, the they started with another song, but then at the end of it, they sang the King of Glory. And at the end of Mass, I went up to them and I said, "Thank you very much for playing this song." I was starting to become disappointed, but I figured I'll wait until the end of Mass. And so the cantor at that Mass said, "Yeah, that's your favorite song, isn't it?" Because she knows that, because I know her parents. And yeah, so yeah. That song is on repeat on my playlist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice song. I love it
Mhm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But Bonnie, we're talking about Advent. What is Advent?
Advent, I associate it with the season of preparation and waiting.
Yes.
We're waiting for the big celebration of Christmas, but we're also preparing ourselves for that. And I'm old enough to remember how Advent used to be like a small Lent.
Mhm,
It
yes.
Yeah,
used to have
I've
more
heard
of
of
a
that.
penitential nature to it. I remember as a child giving up candy during Advent, which was really hard because with all the Christmas candy that was available, you know, so it had more of that character to it.
Mhm.
Since Vatican II, since its implementation in the mid 60s to now, continuing implementation, we're changing the tune. It's becoming more of a season of anticipation, joy, peace, hope, and love. And each of those words indicate one of the weeks of Advent. So this year we're pretty fortunate to have almost 4 full weeks of Advent.
Right.
Yeah.
Some years we have the fourth Sunday of Advent and the next day is Christmas.
Yeah,
right,
those
right,
are
right.
really awkward.
Sometimes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think also a lot of people don't realize that Advent is a new year in the church,
Yes.
That's
right?
true.
And so that's why we're also talking about new beginnings, because it is. I think you don't think about it. You just think, oh, we're so used to the regular calendar that we have that we don't realize that the church calendar kind of also has its own times and seasons.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we say Happy New Year on the first Sunday of Advent, people are like, wait, this is just the
Just
first
the
Sunday of
Sunday.
December.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
But I think it's a good reminder that there's a new year coming, and I think we're used to doing resolutions, New Year's resolutions. So it might be good, like sometimes when you think about, oh, this is a new year in the church, maybe to try and think of something that you can do as as a as the church begins a new year, right? Like,
Right.
how would I like my faith life to be different this new year?
Mm-hmm.
that's really good because the poem
Mhm.
talked about things that we can be doing
Right. Right.
different,
Yeah.
new. Yeah, resolutions that are not necessarily about our physical selves,
Mhm.
although that's also good, but also about our spiritual
Spiritual
selves.
Yeah. But I think also it's a good reminder that yes, the new year, the calendar new year, is a way that a lot of times people take as a new beginning, right? And think I'm gonna start to do something new, diets, exercises, whatever people pick. But I think the fact that Advent falls like a month before, and as we reflect on it, I think it's also a good reminder that there are new beginnings in our lives all the time. I mean, it doesn't have to be a new year, right?
Right,
Like
right.
Monday could be a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Monday in June, for example,
Right.
or the first day of a month.
Or
And so,
tomorrow morning.
exactly. And so I think it's more of remembering that every day you have a clean slate to do something different with your life. If
Right.
you're tired of whatever is happening in your life, like, you could change that. And it starts with something small. You just have to decide it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree to that. And I go back to what you said earlier about, Advent is a time of anticipation, love, hope, love,
Peace and
peace,
joy.
I think we should take all of this, even if we're in that preparation mode, in our new life or new beginnings that we're creating for ourselves. We should take these same things into that new life with us. How are we going to increase in love? How are we going to increase in hope? Where are we going to create peace in, like, where we are? Maybe with our friends, with our neighbors. I think taking those things from Advent and not only leaving it for the season of Advent and bringing it into those new beginnings and new year and leaving it out, I think that will help us in the new beginnings that we're
That our
looking for.
poem
Yes.
talked about.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. Like the changes is that God is waiting to see us make, grudges and resentments that God wants to see us leave behind, things we have to let go of.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, Challenges, um, the path that God wants us to walk, um, drawing closer to God. All of these things are important.
Mm-hmm.
So, embracing new beginnings usually means that we have to leave something behind. So, maybe for a few minutes, we could think about this past year and maybe one thing that stands out for you as being important in your life. It doesn't have to be, earth shaking, but maybe it's something that you're grateful for this past year, an event, um, a process, something, a class, a seminar. No, they just finished finals. They don't want to talk about class.
I'm not.
We got
I'm not ready for it. I'm still.
But as we look back on the year, it's like maybe one thing that stands out to you as you're grateful that this has happened this past year?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is good friends that I have, because it's been a rough year and on a couple of ends, but I've had really good friendships that have um, helped me through it. So knowing that I have people that I can count on and rely on, and who put up with me when I'm not at my best, uh, I'm grateful for that.
That's good. Yeah, you've had some challenges this past year. You shared a few of them on the podcast.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your
Yeah.
ability to see how it's helping you to become a better person.
On a lighter note, I'm grateful for Chick-fil-A because it's also always there for me.
I think that every time you mention Chick-fil-A, they should sponsor this podcast.
Yes, you're right. We should make the management listen to this podcast so they could know that we're speaking about it. One thing I would say that I'm grateful for is my new ministry at Our Lady of the Lake University.
Oh, do tell.
Lots of young people, among women most of the time. I'm teaching young people my age, and they bring like a lot of life. And I think in my community also we also have that sense of life, rejuvenation. But they make you think out of the box, and things that I never thought of because I'm in religious life. I'm having conversations that I've never had. So it becomes a new way of speaking in terms of conversation wise. Most of my conversation is religious conversation, God, prayer, community. And when I go over there, I'm speaking about something different, about their field of work, and their own struggles in their own lives, which has helped me, myself, and I would also hope that it has helped them. So that's one of them. And I say I have a good community. I do love my community. I do have some good friends in the community. I do get upset with some of my friends in the community, and that's life. I think it helps me to know who I am much better. So I'm very grateful because of that, and I think it has allowed me to let things go, and I'm enjoying that.
That's great. It's an unfolding of the more mature version that you're growing into.
Right.
It's great. I look forward to
hearing more about that.
Exactly. We'll keep in touch on that. So I'm thinking back on the past year, and last spring seems to me to have been one of those times that stands out for me. Well, part of it was I decided to redo some things in the house.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to go through things that I'd been holding on to since we moved into this house in 1988 was a real grace. It was like, wow, how could that have been like 30 years ago? When I look at this, it comes back very, very fresh. So I think it was a grace to. I've always been saying I want to declutter. Well, that one project made that happen for that one room. But I have 7 rooms. So the project is just beginning.
But on speaking of decluttering, doesn't it feel good to kind of get rid of things?
It does.
Yeah.
Physical health wise, fewer things to collect dust.
Yes.
That's true.
The spiritual part of it was for everything that I was throwing away, I thanked it for the role that it played in my life, the people it reminded me of, the person or persons who may have given me this thing that I am now letting go of. And so it's kind of a spiritual exercise of letting go, of being grateful, and then saying, okay, thank you. I release you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm in the process of, or starting the process of decluttering a little bit. At the end of every semester, or before the beginning of every semester, I go through things in my bedroom. because I also have a small bedroom. But it's to first of all, it's so easy to accumulate things. You don't even like realize it, but to look at them and then to there are things that I keep because when I as I'm going through them, I realize that it still brings me joy. And then there are things that I can't seem to let go of, but it's a reminder of something. Like I have, I have some cans of Pepsi unopened that remind me of a friend. So and they're expired. I was thinking about drinking them, but they're expired, so they're gonna stay there
Yeah, I
for
wouldn't
a little while.
recommend.
Yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't recommend drinking.
no, not at all. I mean, they might just be flat,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, but it is a good practice to because there are so many things that we have that we don't even realize that we have that you just have in a drawer or they're just there and you think you're gonna need them. But I think it's a good good rule is if you haven't used it in a year, you're probably not gonna use it, and you're probably not gonna need it. But we keep trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna hold on to this for this." And the same thing goes for non-material things. And sometimes we hold on to things within ourselves because we think we're gonna need it or that it's helpful to us or that it gives us power or whatever. Um, and we don't. Sometimes I mean it's more freeing to let go of them
Mm-hmm.
than to hold on.
Exactly.
I
And
agree.
it's difficult, but I think
Yeah.
it's necessary. Something that I do think of, and people my age, we kind of talk about this. It's like if we were to die today, what would happen to your junk? Nobody wants it,
Nobody.
So why do we hold on to it? You asked me a question before we began. How often do I use the china in my
Right.
china cabinet? And my answer is once a year. And yet it was important to have china for that once a year. Yeah.
So the rule still applies because you use it once a year.
That's it. So I
you
don't have to get rid of it.
It's true.
Someday, but not yet. Yes.
Exactly.
Something else that happened this past year that I really am grateful for is we have a pope that, frankly, people said we had a snowball's chance in hell for there to ever be a pope from the US.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a pope from the US, but he's also from South America. So he is a pope of the whole Americas. And it's wonderful. And I have to say this again, most of you at the table have heard this, but I have a relationship with him through my family.
Not saying like that. You're somehow related
to him.
You don't have a relationship with him.
It's a relationship.
I think that's the wine.
It's a relationship through lineage. How's
Okay,
that?
right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it turns out it's not a blood relationship, but it is a marriage relationship. Yes. So my great great uncle Louis was his great great grandfather's stepdad.
Oh.
Yes. So
Wow.
yes. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
do the
awesome.
math. I didn't have to do the math. A friend of mine who is an oblate did it for me. He said, I think you might be related to Pope Leo.
Oh.
So he did the ancestry thing for me and discovered that.
Who was it? We're gonna blip the name out, but
Okay.
do you know him? And another thing that happened this year is you released a new book.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
And thank you for that because I have a book signing coming up in New Orleans on December 28th at Octavia Books.
Oh,
yes.
Promote the podcast too.
Yes, promote the podcast over there.
Yes, okay. A lot of my New Orleans family are also my Facebook friends, and so yes. But
so
I will definitely promote our podcast.
You're promoting a book all the way in New Orleans.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome.
My New Orleans family recommended it. So
okay, good.
So as this year starting to come to an end, the new church year has begun, and the new year is coming. What is one resolution? Doesn't have to be deep. I don't do New Year's resolutions like deep ones because I never follow through with them anyway. So they're kind of a waste of time. But I do have like small resolutions that I like to do. What is one resolution that you have for the new year? Whether it's the church New Year, like a spiritual resolution, or for the new calendar year that's coming up.
Okay, so you know that I plan to step into retirement, but to do it a little bit at a time. So my resolution is to let go of full-time oblate. Yes, and to begin to discover what life is like being there only part-time and seeing what other possibilities there are besides the classroom.
Yeah.
Though, it's a tough decision because I do absolutely love what I do. And the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Well, I've been working at Oblate for 22 years, and it doesn't really feel like it's work.
So don't retire.
Well, the Father Time and Mother Nature are telling me, there's a new adventure coming, so embrace it. So yeah. So for me, that's my big resolution is to make that transition.
For me, very simple. I'm gonna drink more water, and that's my resolution for the year.
Wait.
Because it's good. When you stay hydrated, it's very hot and humid in Texas.
Yes.
And so to drink more water, to be aware of that.
That's right. Yeah. I'll drink to that.
Yes.
Drink more water and drink more wine.
Drink more wine. For me, I don't know. I think I would say work on myself because every day I'm trying to work on myself.
In what way? Physical, spiritual?
Oh, spiritual.
Oh, okay.
Well, on both of them, but more trying to how I get my spiritual life on a different level. Yes, maybe I put it that way. I have already started, but more. Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
So that means more trips to your spiritual director, huh?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So the year is coming to an end. Our podcast for this season is coming to an end.
Yes, it is.
And we just want to thank everybody who has been accompanying us and who listens to us every week and who comments, and even those who don't comment, that just listen, that support us in that way. It's been a very fun journey to do this first season, and we are hoping to do another season in the new year upon request, or maybe even not upon request. We'll just do it because we're doing it for
request.
fun.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to do
it. But yeah, it's been an incredible joy sharing with Bonnie and McQueen and everybody listening. And we'll just leave you with one last question before we go. For the people listening at home, what are you grateful for this year? And what is one resolution that you have? Something to think about in the coming weeks as you wrap up your year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy King's Day if you celebrate, and whatever celebrations coming up in the new year.
Yes.
May I say one more thing? Because a question that we did get is, why did we decide to call this Open Up?
Oh. Why did we decide to call it Open Up?
Well, part of it was we wanted to have an opportunity to showcase different wines.
Yes, and because we like to drink wine. It all started because we like to come to Bonnie's house and drink wine in the porch. And that's kind of how, because we have deep conversations out there, and we just wanted to kind of showcase a little bit of what happens in the porch.
So you're getting like a window into what it's like to be on that porch.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's called Open Up because we open up a bottle of wine as we open up about a topic that we want to discuss.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
It's fun. Okay, so
see you next year.
See you next year. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.